What's up, my little Tattle Tells? Y'all, it's Black History Month and already, what is it, the 9th? And already all the greats are disappointing us. Who's the latest black man that got some money but don't know how to act and forgot where he came from? Well, if you're saying Dave Chappelle, you would be right. Y'all, Dave Chappelle has lost his damn mind. And I'm not talking about when he had his breakdown and left 65 million or whatever on the table with Comedy Central. Now, here's the funny thing, right? Because 65 million might actually be in question. Dave Chappelle was caught at a town hall meeting acting like his name was Donald Trump Jr. You don't believe me? Just watch. Watch this video, right? And then I'm going to meet you after the jump because we need to discuss this, right? And no, I didn't forget about Kim Kardashian's Vogue cover. If you about to be like, Tisa, what about Kim? We dragging her right after that. But first, let's clean our own house and then we'll go to the neighbors and talk trash. Y'all ready? Let's go. Now, before I show you the video, I need to give y'all a little background, right? And it's this. Dave Chappelle personally came to a city council meeting and threatened to remove his $65 million of investments from his city. And just to let you know, his city does look like the town of Whoville. The only drops of chocolate there are him, his kids, and probably the Hershey bars down at Mr. McNichol's local store, right? He threatened to remove $65 million from his city if they allowed a developer to move forward with an affordable housing program. The objection wasn't to build. The objection was for the affordable housing. The objection was for the affordable housing. And get this, as per David's wishes, the council ruled that the bill can continue, which David and the rest wanted, but will do so without letting poor people, in which that was their primary investment. Now listen, before y'all being like, say, please, I don't want to live by those brokies either. Let me explain what affordable housing, matter of fact, watch the video and then we're going to talk after the jump. Because y'all, between this, Kim Kardashian celebrating Black history, and the NAACP deciding that colored people back then meant all people and not black people that were being chewed up by dogs and literally water tortured with fire hoses. Man, let's watch Dave Chappelle and see the one of the many ways he's disappointed us.
No? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dave Chappelle. I just want to say, and Marianne, I can talk to you about this privately. I don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation from a $24 million a year company while they X out the $65 million a year company. I cannot believe you would make me audition for you. You look like clowns. I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So.
Now, y'all, I'm going to put the link to this, but Grim on Twitter, make sure you follow Exile Grim on Twitter, broke this all the way down. He said, I dug in, or she, it's a brave new world, said, I dug into it just to make certain, but the developer was explicitly putting land aside for affordable housing without even plans for it yet. All right. So he actually did some research and there's like a link right there. I'm going to put it in the description box. All right. So do your own research before you start arguing with me. But let's see. The specific issue was zoning for high density housing, which in Ohio is a very low bar to dip into. The problem is Yellow Springs is a well-off suburb of Dayton, and no one wants an excess of cheaper housing supplied near purely only for property values alone. I'm gonna break that down after the jump because if y'all think that they was trying to build projects there, they weren't. Affordable housing is just saying there might be $1 million houses, but you need a small percentage. Let's just say it's 10% of all houses built that the property developer has to take an L and do it by what the median income is. So if the median income for that house, for that family in that area is, let's just say $500,000 a person, right? $500,000 is a median income. What that means is they need to build a house and price it for someone that makes a $500,000 can secure it and get a mortgage, which pays no more than 25%, which is $125,000 of their income a year. That's what affordable housing is. It's not the projects. Now, it's also important to point out that a lot of rich neighborhoods now, this is a new form of segregation. It's like social economic. But we all know this actually for Black History Month deals with people of color. And no, I don't mean the NAACP definition. I mean poor people, historically, Black, Latino, whatever, because they don't want them also building apartment buildings or even townhomes in these areas. Why, you ask? One, it's property value. But two, you need to realize that usually in America, the bigger the houses and the more expensive they are, the better the public school district. There's a lot of people that live in that cannot afford to send their kids to private school, but they can maybe kill two birds with one stone and move into a better house in a better area and get better access to a quality education that is not private school, so their kids can get scholarships or just do more in life. We all know the way America is. It's all about education, baby. So by denying any type of townhomes, any apartment buildings, and these are, the townhomes aren't even affordable housing. It might be a $2 million townhome in an area that got $6 million mansions, right? Apartment buildings that rent could be $10,000 a month. It's not to say it's Project 8, and there's nothing wrong with Section 8 or anything. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying how ridiculous these people are and how I'm knocking down every argument they can make. Now, the fact that Dave Chappelle, who claims to be a man of the people, who comes from a very prominent and well-off, well-educated family, is sitting there playing these gentrifications, other side games during Black History Month. You are so mad that a middle-class person might move in next to you that you are threatening to pull $65 million out of a town. Y'all, he should be ashamed of himself. This is your hero? This is who you be going to bat for? Man, tell Netflix to pull his mess right now. This is who we've been going to bat for, but it's not over. It's not over. Let's read some more of what Grimm got to say. Grimm goes on to say, the cynical part of me would assume the land itself was never going to be developed, but remain zoned for denser living, that's apartment buildings, townhouses, whatnot, to increase the resale value and be turned into a bougie park later on. But even the possibility it would have been used appropriately is worth trying. Now, if you guys don't know, that's another reason land developers in bougie neighborhoods keep people out of neighborhoods. They literally zone it for affordable housing. They never build it because they say they run out of money and they're going to build it on the end. And then once everything is sold, they're like, oh, well, and they rezone it for a park. Because every city that has affordable housing has a clause saying if it is not used for affordable housing, it must be used for a public park. And this is what Dave Chappelle literally went up there with fire in his eyes to do. Man, if y'all, listen, let me tell y'all something. You know what? Let's just move on. Quiet. By the way, Grimm's insane, even in the best case scenario. Throwing around $65 million in investment to get your way at a city council is both what every person with $65 million to invest does, and it's also wildly anti-democratic. And I'll say it right now, and I also think it's anti-Black. And for y'all in the comments being like, oh, please, this is his money, he can do what he wants. It is, but guess what, baby? This is my channel, and I'll say what I want. Dave Chappelle is trash for this one. I'm sick of the culture supporting people that don't support us. And if you think that you stand a neck and neck with Dave Chappelle and his $65 million, I would say, one, please stop with the fake. Because if you would, listen, go bed and stand next to your millionaire, billionaire friends. Because I'm talking to the people. All right, my little Tattle Tells. I'll talk to you later. Let me know what you think in the comments.